Hi, my name is Dana and I'm currently obsessed with tie-dye. I'm on a mission to own as much as I possibly can. I have a tank top that I've made, I have a couple t-shirts, I have some long sleeves, I have some hoodies, plural, I have more than one. I have a full set, 12 pairs of tie-dyed socks, and I'm going to be sharing with you a couple methods that you guys can build your own collection today. So I purchased the materials that I'm using off of Amazon. I will go ahead and link those items in the description box below. You need to be ensuring that you're using 100% cotton t-shirts and good quality dye, or you're not going to have good results. This video is going to be comprehensive, and it's going to show you basically everything from how I set up my tie-dye station to how I wash the items out. I particularly want to emphasize the stages of tying and rinsing because those are very important. You can haphazardly apply the dye, but if you don't wash it out appropriately or use the correct materials, you're not going to get like a quality outcome. So just pay attention to those things. And let's get into the video. So I tie-dye right on my kitchen table. I just throw down some clear tarps to protect all the surfaces, and I have a box ready and waiting for my tied up projects. So the first thing you're going to want to do is wash your shirts. This removes any chemicals, any stiffener that the manufacturer might have used to make your shirt look brand new. It also helps the dye spread when you use less of your dye. I'll go ahead and remind you to stick around to the end of the video and you can watch how I actually wash my shirts out after I've dyed them as well. While your garments are washing, you can go ahead and start mixing your dyes. I find that hot water is the best for dissolving the dye. I fill my bottles about 1/3 of the way full of hot water, kind of swirl the dye around in the bottle to get it to begin dissolving. I'll go through all my colors before I go back to the first one and fill it up the rest of the way with hot water and then give them all a really good shake. Also, the dye is extremely strong. Do not do this without gloves. You'll regret it. Your hands will be so stained, I promise you. For the sake of this video, I have made edits so that you can see how to tie and dye each item. I also do a try-on of each item so you can see how mine turned out. Just keep in mind that I am dyeing several items at once, so realistically, I am mixing all of my dye at the same time, I am tying everything at the same time, and then I dye everything all together, and then I wash it all together. I am not doing this 6 separate times, just to clarify. The first 2 shirts I'm going to show you are going to be in the spiral design. I show it to you twice so you can see the amount of variance you can create with this design. To do the spiral, you just grab directly in the center of the shirt and twist. You try to create pretty folds as you wrap the rest of the shirt around in the spiral fashion. Place the rubber bands around the shirt and try to make sections. You can cross 2 rubber bands to create 4 sections. You can cross 3 rubber bands to create 6 sections. And you either dye the sections across each other or you pick 6 different colors and it'll give you a different color spiral for each section. A really good tip is to keep paper towels and plastic bags nearby. That way you're able to quickly clean up any messes that you might make, and so that way you don't, ruin the shirts that you're about to dye. And also so that way you can quickly wrap your projects up and just move on to the next one. Whenever you go to put your project inside the plastic bags, do take care that you're not getting dye all over the inside of the bag too much. You don't want to move it around too much and muddle your colors together. That's no bueno. You can see here I've got some smaller bottles. I've just got them filled full of water. They're really handy for cleaning up any remaining dye that might be on your table. And also they're really nice for creating some ombre looks, and I'll show you how to do that later in this video. This next shirt I'm going to show you is an off-center spiral design. It's just like the first one except for it's off-center. You can choose to do it at the top of the shirt, the bottom of the shirt, it doesn't really matter. Again, you're going to stick with the same kind of dyeing technique as, doing the sections across from each other or choosing each section to be a different color. That'll give you the best looking spiral. If you don't know what colors would look nice together, just look at the color wheel. Colors that are closer together are going to blend together and give you a nice little variance between colors. For example, like green and yellow. If you overlap those 2 colors, you'll get, like a in-between lime green. Whereas if you use orange and blue, those 2 colors, they're going to muddle together and give you like a brown color. So use colors that are closer together on the color wheel, not across from each other. The next 2 shirts I want to show you are very similar. They're made by simply crumpling the t-shirt. For For this first one, I crumple the shirt while it's laying flat to give it kind of a frisbee shape. And when you go to dye this shirt, you can apply the dye in patches, you can leave a little bit of white if you'd like, or you can even choose 2 colors that you think would blend nicely and try to get like a little bit of a gradient between the colors. Just keep in mind that the tighter you ball the shirt, the more white you're going to have in the end result. And for the second shirt, I make it by balling the shirt from a vertical position. Try to keep the neckline at the top so you can ensure there's some patches in the middle of the shirt. I really like doing this shirt in a single color. You can experiment with whatever you like. The next 2 shirts are created by banding the shirts into sections. You're essentially going to get a stripe pattern. This can be done in a number of ways. You can do it horizontally, diagonally, vertically. You can even combine a combination of ways to tie your shirt, like crumpling and stripes. Another cool thing you can do is to ombre your shirts. You can do this by diluting the dye with water. I made sure the section was still wet, and then I applied the diluted dye. Make sure you get both the front and back sides of your shirt and take care to clean up any dye that's on your work surface. You don't want to get dye all over when you flip your project. And bagging these shirts can also be a little difficult, so just be sure you aren't getting dye all over. This last shirt is extremely easy. You just pleat the shirt with accordion style folds, and once you folded your shirt, you can apply your rubber bands to create sections. Stripe patterns are fun because you can create so many looks. You can also do as few sections or as many as you'd like. You can create ombre looks or even just rotate your colors for some different looking shirts. The last thing I wanted to mention is that you can also create new colors. When my turquoise dye ran out, I simply filled the bottle with a little water, squirted some blue and yellow into the bottle to make a diluted green color. Honestly, it's really hard to mess up tie-dye. Just keep the color wheel in mind whenever you're applying your colors, and I'm sure you'll be happy with whatever you make. This is the last pattern I'm going to cover in this video. Now it's time to show you how I store my shirts while they're dyeing and how to wash everything out. I made the mistake of taking my gloves off before wrapping my last shirt up. I only touched it for a few seconds and look how much it stained my hands. Use gloves, even when washing your stuff out. After I dye each item and wrap it up, I place it in a large box that I line with an oversized plastic bag. And once everything has been dyed, I close the bag to ensure all the items have a chance to soak in the dye before they dry out. After 8 hours, it's time to wash everything out. I slide my box into my kitchen where I carefully cut off my rubber bands and begin rinsing my colors out. You start with cold water and you try to wash each color out individually. Pay special attention to your white areas and quickly rinse any color out if you notice the dye spreading to those parts. Once you've rinsed your items till the water runs clear, you do it again, but with hot water. This part is extremely time consuming. I usually spend about 10 minutes removing the rubber bands and washing the dye out of each shirt. Though it does take a bit of time, I actually find this to be one of my favorite parts of tie-dye. It's just enjoyable for me, and it's the moment you get a first look at what you've created. I also find it relaxing to wash the colors out. I just want to emphasize that this is not the time to rush. Since you've already put so much time into your tie-dye, you should make sure that your colors come out as beautiful and as vibrant as possible. I have a front load washing machine, so after I've rinsed each shirt out, I lay it down inside my washing machine, ensuring that the shirts don't touch each other until I've started the wash cycle. If you have a front load washer, this might not work for you, but what you could do is use like a large Rubbermaid container or something similar so you're able to lay your shirts down until you're able to start your wash cycle. You can simply throw everything into the washer together once you've paid extra attention to wash all the dye out, but it's just really important to wash everything you've dyed at least once before you wash it with your other clothing. So tell me, which shirt was your favorite? Leave a comment down below and let me know. And if you liked this video, why don't you give it a thumbs up so I know that you liked it and I'll do more tie-dye content for you guys. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do that if you ever want to see my face again. I'll see you guys next time. Bye!